Hello, the one and only Xylophoney here with Pokemon Fight Club Season 2. Now remember, the first rule about Fight Club, always talk about Fight Club. So we're going to get into the Season 2 draft. Now before we get into this, I must say we did things a little bit differently. Last season, we got our solid picks, we called them the Fantastic Four, Metagross and the 3Gs, and we swept through people. The entire season, we only had 2 losses. Unfortunately, one of those losses was in the playoffs, so we didn't end up winning, but I think we did really good. We had 2 of the most lethal people in the entire competition, and it really kind of was a lot of fun, especially since I don't really play Pokemon that much. So that was really cool to see, but in Season 2, we're doing things a little bit differently. First off, we have twice as many people. There's 16 people in this one as opposed to 8. Now, this is most of the previous season, but it's also another, bunch more YouTubers and people you probably haven't seen before. Some of them are actually full-time Pokemon people. So, it might be some real good competition this season. Second of all, I'm throwing up a lot of 2s. Sounds good. Anyway, second of all, it is completely randomized. Well, we get to pick one Mega Evolution, but other than that, every Pokemon is completely randomized. We get 3 OUs, 3 UUs, and so on. It's actually 14 Pokemon total, but the last 2 don't really... We'll get into that. But I must say, in the randomization, I actually got the second pick to have my Mega Evolution chosen. So I was feeling real good. You guys know who I want to pick. That Mega Metagross. So easy, second pick, someone will choose whatever they want, and first pick chose Mega Metagross. I don't know why, but I was very salty about that. Just because, if I had, the 7th or 8th pick or something like that, and I didn't get the one I wanted, that makes sense. But if it's a second pick and I can't have the one guy I want, it's kind of unfortunate. But this Pokemon was the first one and the only one chosen. So let's start off with my Mega Evolution pick, which is Mega Scizor. Now, Mega Scizor is pretty good. He's a Steel type, much like Metagross. He's a defensive tank and an offensive monster, so you can see why I like him. Now, another thing is last season no one chose Mega Scizor, and I was kind of surprised by that, so I decided to go with him. However, I kind of decided that before I knew I would have second pick. Maybe I could have gone for a better Mega Evolution pick, but I didn't really think it completely through. Either way, not a bad choice. I was kind of thinking of going Gyarados, but I think Scizor has more team capabilities, because, he only has that one weakness. He has a bit more, variety of ways you can use him, and I think it would be a little bit better, so we went with him. Next up, we're going to start the randomization process and see who I get. Well, I already know who I get, but I'm going to show you guys who I get. So first up is B-Sharp. B-Sharp is very similar to Mega Scizor, actually, except he is also Dark-type instead of Bug-type. And he doesn't have the Technician, but he does get Swords Dance, he has a little bit of tankiness to him, and he gets Sucker Punch, which is a really good priority move, because it does 80 damage, so it's pretty much just as good as having Technician. It's a little bit more limited, but it's really good, so B-Sharp and Scizor, I wouldn't normally want both on a team, but hey, we got them. A little bit of extra fire weakness, but, we'll move forward. Next up, we have Azumarill. Okay, not something I would have really ever chosen, but I've definitely seen Azumarills do okay. With huge power, they can do a lot of damage, and they also have priority. 3 Pokemon with priority. Okay, so we got our Bullet Punch, our Sucker Punch, and our Aqua Jet all ready to go on super high physical attack Pokemon. We have some very limited rolls here, but they're good Pokemon at least, so that's pretty good. Next up, we have our last OU Pokemon, a Breloom. Ooh, 3rd fire type weakness. That's not necessarily a good thing, but Breloom is a good Pokemon. He can use Spore and just put Pokemon to sleep and do whatever he wants, or he can utilize his good damage with Mach Punch. A 3rd kind of priority move. I see a trend going on here. Let's move along to the UU. We get Roserade. Roserade. A 4th out of 5 Pokemon with a fire type weakness. Okay. Well, at least we have a special attacker. That's something good to look at. And hey, Roserade's not weak to poison. He's poison type. So that's good. Roserade, I actually looked at him. He does some decent damage. He can do some setup, but he doesn't really have the tankiness to, really fully do that setup extravagantly. So it can be an okay Pokemon. I guess I'm not going to be too upset by him. I think it's just the typing. I don't need another grass type or anything weak to fire. But here we have it. So let's move on to our next UU, which is Shaman. Another grass Pokemon. 5 out of my 6 Pokemon so far are weak to fire. This is not good. Well, Shaman has a full stat pool of 100 across the board. He's mostly used as an offensive special attacker, so I have more special attack coverage, but defensively I'm not very happy with the direction my team is going. Very limited, but hey, what are you supposed to expect in a randomizer? Well, let's move on to the second half of my team and see if I can get anything good. Porygon Z! You guys know in Pixelmon Elements, I had a Porygon as my starter. I was training him Porygon 2 all season. I could not evolve him to a Porygon Z. So getting him in this is a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe it's karma, maybe it's just like, completion. It's just everything is good right now. I don't care about the other first half of my team over there. Over there. I have those kind of on the side and the other one's blocked if you haven't noticed. But that is good. He is a special attacker. Maybe I can trade away the Roserade or Shaman and, have a little less grass Pokemon on my team. You guys know grass is my least favorite type. Definitely my least favorite type. But, that's good. Good Pokemon to have. I like Porygon Z. Next up, we have Meloetta. I had never seen a Meloetta before. I probably have seen it, but I've never used a Meloetta before at all. I didn't know at all what he was capable of, but when I looked up Meloetta, I was kind of happy with the stats, He has a decent special defense tanking ability and a really decent special attack. So I would say he's definitely one of the better ones I got here. But at the same time, it's another pink and green Pokemon. I'm getting so many pink and green Pokemon. Like, look, I got the Breloom, I got the Roserade, yeah, Azumarill is even a fairy type, I got Shaman, Porygons, that nice pink and blue, then Meloetta. Well, I might as well just call my team Sparkles and Sunshine, but no, Moonstones will reign supreme. Anyway, next up we have Gallade. Another fairy-looking dude. I don't like the look of my team. I want a nice, intimidating team. I want that Metagross, Gyarados. I have Flowers and Sunshine. That's really what I got. But Gallade's not a bad Pokemon. It's another Psychic type, but he kind of has the fighting to, work that out. I already had fighting and Psychic, but he's okay. Not really something I would normally use, but he's a decent Pokemon. Now we're going to get into the NU picks. Stuff that's not as good, but I might use it in certain situations. So first off, oh wait, no, he's the last of the NU picks. I skipped through a couple words. Anyway, we have Seismitoad, who is pretty much known as the weaker version of Swampert. He is a ground water type. He has weaker moves, weaker stats, but he has that typing that we like. And I do love that typing. And in all honesty, he's the only ground Pokemon I've gotten so far. I love having ground type, and having an extra water type will really help me against this whole fire weakness thing I have going on. I think it really will. And I believe you can drop a nice Stealth Rock too, so that could also help me out. Because I have a fire and a flying weakness with all these grass types and fighting types. Oh my god. Next up, we're going to move into the... wait, no, that was the... no, we're moving into the RU. I still don't have the tiers completely figured out and all the things, guys, but I try. I'm a Pixelmon guy, not a Pokemon guy, but we are going to win this. Probably. We have Ampharos. Ampharos, not too happy with it, but there's not a lot of great picks we could have in this. I really wish we could just pick these ones, because then I could grab like Crustle and Dugong and stuff like that, which were big players on my last team. but so be it. And then we have Primeape, another fighting Pokemon, but you know, he can have a Choice Scarf, do some decent damage. Why not? It's probably one of the better picks in that tier. Then we actually got two from the, I believe, PU tier, which is mainly useless Pokemon in this type of competition. And they indeed were for me. I got Castform and Clefairy, who are both some more fairy-looking dudes. But they will probably not be making an appearance in the competitive aspect of this competition. But hey, a Clefairy, Team Moonstones, I think that's some good luck. Now, that is our team. We really want to do some trades to get some of this fire weakness off our team. We don't have a single flying type Pokemon, so we have no way to avoid Earthquake. We have one ground Pokemon, and he's a Seismitoad. It's just not what I had envisioned. You know, I wasn't really for the randomizer, but I was outvoted, so that's how we're going to run things. Let's see who we're going to battle next week. The team is the Bouffalant Bills. Now, I guess I'll put this, I'll sit up here so we can put it right about here, their team list. There we go, keep it even. How is that even at all? I don't know. Camera must be slightly tilted sideways. Anyway, the Bouffalant Bills have the Mega Metagross. This is the guy who took my Mega Metagross from me, and I have to fight him in week 1. You know, I even whined to try to get that back. I was like, are bribes allowed? What about threats? And, you know, he wouldn't change his mind. So we're gonna have to take him out. He has that Mega Metagross. It's gonna be tough. Especially since I have a Seismitoad to counter it. Can I learn any fire moves? Oh no. Oh no. This is going to be difficult. I have hardly any way of countering this guy. Okay, what's next? Tyranitar, Keldeo, Alakazam, Hydreigon, Forretress. Once again, no fire moves. Donphin, Spiritomb, Rotom, Braviary, Lantern, Piloswine, Furret, and Politoad's in the PU? That must be a good pick. Guys, we're in trouble. That is a really good team. Well, leave me all of your suggestions in the comments below on which Pokemon I should use and what moves I should use to try to counter some of these guys. I'm gonna have to look through all my Pokemon and see if there's anyone that can learn a fire move, because that'll be good. Other than that, this may be tough. However, we are in the same division as Screen. Please turn back on any moment now. Thank you. We are in the same division as Panda and Richie, so there's 2 easy wins right there. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that'll probably be some good battles. And we have 2 split divisions. So there's a Tiger and Cloud, for example, in the other half. So I'm not going to be able to battle those guys until the playoffs. But hey, I think we might be able to get there if we do a lot of trading and we're really lucky in the battles, because this is a lot to work with. I do not like the randomization, but hopefully you guys do. Leave a like on the video. Leave me suggestions in those comments, please. And I will see you guys next time.